Welcome back to the Vital Signpost. We're on part 10 of our deep dive into sleep. And this time we're going to tackle a question that I think has probably fascinated humans for as long as we've been able to think about such things. What is the purpose of dreams?
Yeah.
Are they just these fleeting images from our subconscious, or do they serve a deeper function?
Mm-hmm.
For years, the prevailing thought was that dreams were simply a byproduct of REM sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Just those odd, sometimes surreal images that flit through our minds when we're sleeping.
Right.
Almost like the heat generated from a light bulb as it produces light.
Mm-hmm.
The heat isn't the intended outcome, just an effect.
Right.
But research is starting to suggest that this might not be the whole story.
Yeah, that's right. We're starting to see evidence that dreams are far more than just a passive side effect.
Okay.
They seem to play an active role in our mental and emotional well-being
Okay.
and how we process emotions, solidify memories, and even navigate our social world.
So that's really intriguing. So we're going to delve deeper into this idea of REM sleep and dreams and explore how they contribute to our emotional equilibrium. Where do we begin?
Well, I think the best place to begin is to understand the function of REM sleep itself.
Okay.
It's almost like an overnight therapy session for our brains.
Okay.
And during REM, our brains actually reactivate and process the emotional experiences of the day,
Okay.
but in a very safe, neurochemically calm environment.
Interesting.
So it's quite different from our waking hours when we're constantly bombarded by stress hormones.
So while we're sleeping, our brain is actually working
Yeah,
behind the scenes, sorting through all the emotional baggage of the day.
that's a great way to put it, yeah.
Okay.
And a key player in this process is noradrenaline.
Okay.
It's a neurotransmitter that's linked to stress and anxiety.
Right.
And during REM sleep, levels of noradrenaline drop dramatically, which creates a calm setting for emotional memory processing.
So it's like creating a mental sanctuary where our brains can confront these emotional experiences without being overwhelmed by stress.
Precisely. And there's actually some scientific evidence to support this idea of REM sleep as overnight therapy.
Interesting.
Studies show that people who are allowed to sleep after experiencing emotional events react less intensely when they're exposed to those events again.
Oh, wow.
It seems that sleep, and particularly REM sleep, helps us process and lessen the emotional impact of our experiences.
So it's amazing to consider that sleep isn't just about physical rest.
Mm.
It's about giving our brains time and space to process emotions and, I guess, build resilience for the next day.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's not just about the amount of REM sleep we get, it's also about the content of our dreams.
Okay.
Research indicates that people who specifically dream about their traumas or their emotional challenges are more likely to recover and find emotional resolution.
Wow.
So it's not enough to just have REM sleep. Dreaming about the right things seems to be crucial for emotional healing.
So the quality of our dreams matters just as much as the quantity of REM sleep.
Hmm.
But what happens when those dreams take a darker turn, like in the case of people experiencing PTSD?
That's a crucial point. Individuals with PTSD often experience recurring nightmares,
Right.
which can be incredibly distressing. And one theory suggests that the heightened levels of noradrenaline they experience even during sleep prevents them from entering and sustaining deep REM sleep.
Okay.
And that's problematic because it's during deep REM sleep that we believe their trauma can be effectively processed.
So that's heartbreaking. Their trauma is preventing them from accessing the very sleep stage that could help them heal. It's a vicious cycle.
It is, and it highlights the very complex nature of PTSD. However, there's some promising research involving the drug prazosin, which is originally used for high blood pressure.
Okay, prazosin. How does that tie into all of this?
Interestingly, prazosin seems to have an effect on noradrenaline levels in the brain. It helps to lower them, and as we've discussed, individuals with PTSD often have these elevated levels of noradrenaline even during sleep.
So by lowering noradrenaline, prazosin is potentially creating a more conducive environment for REM sleep and the emotional processing that occurs during that stage.
That's the idea. Dr. Murray Raskin, a leading PTSD researcher, observed that his patients who were taking prazosin for high blood pressure were also experiencing a significant reduction in nightmares.
Wow, that's amazing.
Prazosin is not a cure,
Right.
and more research is definitely needed.
Yeah.
But it represents a potential step forward in addressing the sleep disturbances and the emotional distress associated with PTSD.
This is a fantastic example of how scientific discoveries can come from unexpected places.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that a medication for blood pressure could hold a key to understanding and potentially treating the nightmares associated with PTSD?
Indeed. And this interconnectedness we've seen between blood pressure, neurochemicals, REM sleep, and emotional trauma really underscores how important it is to take a holistic approach to health and well-being.
Okay.
But the impact of REM sleep extends beyond just processing emotional experiences. It also plays a crucial role in a seemingly unrelated area: our ability to accurately read and interpret facial expressions.
Wait, dreams contribute to our social skills.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to hear more about this connection.
Our brains have these dedicated regions for interpreting social cues, particularly those communicated through facial expressions.
Right.
And REM sleep helps to calibrate these networks,
Okay.
ensuring that we can accurately decipher subtle emotional cues and make sound social judgments.
So REM sleep is like this nightly tune-up for our social radar, making sure we're properly calibrated to interact with others.
That's a great way to think about it. And studies have shown that when people are sleep deprived, particularly of REM sleep, their ability to decode facial expressions actually suffers. They may misinterpret neutral or even friendly faces as threatening.
Oh, that's a little unsettling. It's like walking around with a distorted social lens,
Yeah.
leading to misunderstandings and awkward interactions.
Yeah.
And for professions where reading people is critical, law enforcement, healthcare, emergency response, REM sleep deprivation could have some serious consequences.
You're absolutely right. In those professions, misreading a situation could have significant implications. And this brings us to a point where the significance of REM sleep becomes even more crucial: adolescence. We've been talking about how vital REM sleep is for processing emotions and fine-tuning our social understanding. It's really remarkable how this stage of sleep helps us make sense of our experiences and navigate the complexities of human interaction.
It is fascinating to think that while we sleep, our brains are actively working through the day's events, smoothing out emotional rough edges and sharpening our social perception. But you mentioned that the benefits of REM sleep extend even further.
Yes, the benefits go beyond our emotional and social lives. REM sleep seems to play a key role in creativity and problem solving as well.
Now that's intriguing. How can dreams, which are often so bizarre and illogical, contribute to something as structured and analytical as problem solving?
It might seem like a paradox, but during REM sleep, our brains are unconstrained by the logic and reason that govern our waking thoughts. They're free to wander and explore, making connections that might not occur to us when we're awake.
So it's like our minds are given permission to play, to experiment with ideas without the limitations of reality.
Exactly. In this state of unfettered exploration, our brains can forge new pathways of thought, making novel connections between seemingly disparate ideas, connections that might have eluded us during our waking hours.
It makes me think of those stories about famous scientists and artists who attribute their breakthroughs to dreams. Is there any scientific basis for those anecdotes?
There might be. While we can't control our dreams in the same way we control our waking thoughts, there are techniques that might influence our dream content and potentially enhance our creative problem-solving abilities during sleep.
What kind of techniques?
One such technique is dream journaling. By consistently recording our dreams, we become more attuned to the themes and patterns they contain. This can provide valuable insights into our subconscious minds.
It's like turning our dreams into data points, analyzing them for clues about our creative processes.
In a way, yes. By reflecting on our dreams, we might identify recurring symbols or scenarios that hold personal meaning or spark creative inspiration.
Dream journaling sounds like a powerful tool for self-discovery and creative exploration. Are there other techniques that can influence our dreams?
There's also lucid dreaming, where individuals become aware that they're dreaming while still within the dream state.
You mean being conscious within a dream? Is that even possible?
It is, although it requires practice and dedication. Lucid dreamers can often control aspects of their dreams, even manipulating the dream environment and interacting with dream characters in ways that reflect their waking goals and intentions.
That sounds incredible. To be able to shape your dreams, explore different scenarios, and test out ideas without the limitations of the real world.
It's a fascinating realm of human consciousness, one that researchers are only beginning to unravel. Lucid dreaming holds immense potential not just for creative problem solving, but also for addressing nightmares, overcoming phobias, and even exploring spiritual dimensions.
It almost sounds like unlocking a hidden superpower within our minds.
In a sense, it is, and while lucid dreaming might not be for everyone, the very possibility that we can influence our dreams speaks to the incredible plasticity and adaptability of our brains.
This is all mind-blowing. It makes me wonder about the ethics of intentionally manipulating our dreams. Could there be unintended consequences to altering our dream experiences in this way?
That's a valid concern. As with any powerful tool, there's always potential for misuse. It's vital to approach dream manipulation with caution, respect, and a clear understanding of the potential risks and benefits.
You're right. We need to tread carefully as we explore this uncharted territory of the mind. Despite the potential risks, the possibilities are incredibly exciting. It seems like we're just beginning to understand what dreams can reveal about ourselves and the world around us. But this exploration of REM sleep's role in creativity and problem-solving leads us to a critical period in life where this stage of sleep becomes even more crucial: adolescence.
Adolescence is indeed a time of immense change and development, and REM sleep plays a crucial role in helping teenagers navigate this period of transition.
It's incredible to think about all the intricate processes that happen in our brains while we sleep, particularly during REM sleep. We've talked about its role in emotional processing and social intelligence and even creative problem solving. It really paints a whole new picture of sleep, not just as a time for rest, but as a crucial time for growth and development.
It truly is a time of remarkable activity. Our brains are busy orchestrating our mental and emotional well-being. And as we've been exploring, REM sleep is essential for this process. This is especially true during adolescence, a period of immense transition and growth.
We touched on this earlier, but I'd love to delve deeper.
Yeah.
What makes REM sleep so vital during this specific developmental stage?
Imagine a young mind on the verge of adulthood. They're trying to navigate the complex social dynamics of their peers, grappling with who they are, and experiencing a surge of hormones that intensify their emotions.
It's like being thrown onto a stage with a brand new script. They're trying to figure out their character, their lines, and their place in the story.
That's a great analogy, and it's during this critical time that REM sleep steps in as a guide. It helps the adolescent brain make sense of the emotional complexities of their world.
So REM sleep provides a space for teenagers to process the emotional ups and downs of adolescence, practice social interactions, and refine their understanding of the social world.
Exactly. Through the dreamscapes of REM sleep, teenagers gain valuable insights into their own emotions and those of others. They develop empathy, hone their social skills, and build resilience to navigate the challenges that are an inevitable part of growing up.
It really highlights how crucial sleep is for teenagers, not just for their physical health, but for their emotional and social development as well. Yet they're often pressured to sacrifice sleep for academics, extracurricular activities, and social events.
It is a concerning trend. Early school start times, for instance, often conflict with teenagers' natural sleep patterns. This can deprive them of much-needed REM sleep, especially during those early morning hours when it's most abundant.
It's like asking them to perform at their best without giving them the proper time to prepare. We wouldn't expect an athlete to compete at their peak without adequate training. Yet we often expect teenagers to excel academically and socially without sufficient sleep.
It's a significant issue that needs more attention. Depriving teenagers of REM sleep is like shortchanging their emotional and social development. It could potentially hinder their ability to navigate the complexities of adolescence and transition smoothly into adulthood.
It makes me think back to our earlier analogy of dreams as a vital signpost. What message are we missing when we ignore the sleep needs of teenagers, particularly their need for ample REM sleep?
We're overlooking a crucial indicator of their well-being. We might be missing signs of stress, anxiety, or even depression that could manifest in their sleep patterns.
This is a wake-up call for parents, educators, and policymakers to prioritize the sleep needs of teenagers. We need to recognize that adequate sleep, particularly REM sleep, isn't a luxury. It's a fundamental requirement for their healthy development.
I completely agree. It's an investment in their present and future well-being, an investment that will benefit them throughout their lives.
As we come to the end of this deep dive into REM sleep and dreams, I'm struck by the sheer complexity and wonder of this often overlooked part of our lives. From its role in emotional processing and social intelligence to its contributions to creativity and problem-solving, REM sleep is clearly a vital force shaping our mental and emotional landscapes.
It truly speaks to the intricate design of our brains, the remarkable capacity for growth, adaptation, and renewal that happens while we sleep.
This deep dive has definitely changed my perspective on sleep and dreams. It's a reminder to prioritize sleep not just for physical rest, but for nurturing our mental and emotional capabilities. And to all the teenagers listening out there, remember that sleep, especially those dream-filled hours of REM sleep, is your secret weapon for navigating the challenges of adolescence and becoming a resilient and thriving adult.
Sleep well and dream big. The future awaits, and you are actively shaping it one dream at a time.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the vital signpost. Until next time, sleep well.